Hey everybody, Mike with Dark Star Arms. Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about 3D printing. As many of you have probably seen, I have a 3D printer in the background. I've started, tinkering several years ago with 3D printers. The technology is super cool. I mean, you can really print anything. I believe NASA even uses one on the space station. It's a very cool tool, allows for rapid prototyping, allows you to test fit different parts. Relatively inexpensively. For example, this is a grip for an AR-15 that I fully 3D printed. This will work great on any AR-15, has the correct hole for your spring, for your safety, has pretty much everything you need. This probably cost me 75 cents, 50, 75 cents to print. So again, very, very economical. The printer itself can be expensive depending on what you go with. This is a Bamboo X1 Carbon. It was probably around $1,600, but and it does have the AMS unit on top, which auto feeds the filament and kind of controls certain variables. So if you want me to do a multicolored print or something like that, the AMS is a great tool to have. Prusa makes some phenomenal printers. Really the sky's the limit. You could spend several $100,000 on printers that use different materials and different methods, laser sintering, things like that. That use powders as opposed to filaments. That's how you get a lot of the 3D printed suppressors that are out on the market now. Titanium, Inconel, all of that can be printed. Obviously not in a setup like that. That would take a much more sophisticated machine, a lot more expensive, but very, very cool technology. So what I'm going to discuss today is just a few of the things I use it for. Again, I use it for rapid prototyping. I use it if I'm designing a part or want to kind of test fit or customize a certain component. I can certainly do so using CAD software and other modeling software, create that design, and then go ahead, quickly print it. 45 minutes, an hour, I can print a test piece, see if it fits correctly, see if it's going to work. For example, this Magwell extension here that I printed, it was originally designed by another gentleman. I downloaded the file, realized that with the larger trigger guard that I tend to run on my rifles, that the current design would not work. So I kind of took it apart within CAD, chopped it up a little bit. Actually, I've got a few of the components here and they're bare form. Okay, so as you can see, I have some heat press inserts in here. I used a soldering iron and just put the heat set insert on there, threaded insert, pressed it in slowly with a monitor around a temperature. I think I was running 200 degrees Celsius. You could probably go even lower than that, but again, press these in. This slides right over the front of your magazine well, and then these are the small components, the kind of weird pieces that you'll see right back here that I actually had to redesign in order to fit around the larger trigger guard. So again, just one example of something you can do with the 3D printer. This kind of grip up here is your hand stop. That was fully 3D printed on that printer behind you. The guards right here, the little covers for your M-LOK rail, those were 3D printed as well. All you need to buy is the M-LOK screws and bolts. Anything on Amazon, you can get them from Magpul directly. They're a little bit more pricey, but they're very, very high quality. But again, you can get on eBay, you can get on Amazon, buy these bolts, and it'll allow you to attach pretty much anything. Actually printed this morning since it's a AR-57, says 5.7 by 28 on it. That was actually a multicolored print. As you can see, it's got white and black. It just helps it stand out a little bit better. And then you can even go up to printing full stock. So this is a stock that I 3D printed. I downloaded this file. I cannot remember who the designer of this file was, so I certainly apologize. But there's a huge open source network out there of gun enthusiasts, 3D printer enthusiasts, tons of websites you can go to. Most of them are free. Some you do need to subscribe to, like DefCAD. DefCAD is a wonderful resource for anything firearms related, anything 3D printer related. A lot of really useful files. I believe this I downloaded off of DefCAD. This as well. This is actually a folding stock. Push down, folds over, flops right back. Super, super easy. This was a bit more of a complex print, just time-wise. It was not necessarily difficult to print, but I had to work on the print orientation and kind of how I wanted it within the printer. Obviously, this part's separate, this part is separate. This is actually for a 9mm build that I was working on, but you can certainly take this off as a Picatinny rail. So if you had a rifle with a Picatinny rail on the back, you could easily just mount that straight to it, and you would have a folding stock. So again, just shows you kind of the versatility of 3D printing, what you can 3D print. Again, this is a different material on the back, more of a rubber kind of polymer material, gives you a little bit of squish, a little bit of flex, makes it a little bit more comfortable to shoulder. But really the sky is the limit. There are so many things you can print. I mean, I printed little gimmicks back here. Printed a Saturn V rocket the other day just for shits and giggles, so thought that'd be fun. Multicolor print, pretty cool. I've got magazine holders. These are mag holders that I actually printed. Found this file online. This is for the 5.7 magazines, your PS90 style magazines. Slip right in there, keep them organized. You could easily, Velcro or mount this to a wall or anything like that in the house. All sorts of stuff. So really, really diverse, really useful tool. You can pretty much do anything. I mean, if you need a soap dish for your house, you can 3D print it. But I really like the applications that are starting to kind of work their way into the firearms world and kind of the synergies between 3D printing and firearms. A lot of really interesting possibilities and a lot of really practical applications as it is. So again, you can look at suppressors now. A lot of the suppressor manufacturers are utilizing 3D printing technology to print really complex, unique geometries in order to kind of work with that gas and the sound suppression. Again, I use it for basic prototyping. If I needed a hand stop, I've got one. If I needed a barrier stop, I could go ahead and certainly print one. You can print trigger guards. You can obviously print the magwell that I have on here. A lot of really unique possibilities. So if you're interested in getting into 3D printing, I would absolutely say go ahead. It's a lot of fun. It's a small learning curve. My personal experience, I bought a kind of base model printer. You had to adjust everything by hand. It was more difficult than this, which is pretty much plug and play. But again, you are spending probably twice that of what you would your base model printer by buying one of these. But again, for simplicity and ease of use, that's what I was going for. I didn't want to have to keep manually adjusting everything, having problems with bed adhesion, the part actually sticking to the print bed. Having spaghetti failures halfway through my print where for some reason it got off kilter and didn't print, and that's pretty disappointing, especially if you're doing 15, 18, 22 hour print and you're almost to the end and then you have a failure. So I would recommend getting a high quality printer. Again, Bambu's a phenomenal company. Prusa, there are many on the market. Just do your research, find out what's going to be best for you, what's best for your budget. And then just jump right in, jump head first into it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of potential, a lot of possibilities. And even if you're not in the firearm space and that's kind of not your passion, it's not your hobby, there are so many things you can print. Again, any household items, you need a coat hanger, print a coat hanger. So it's really, really cool, but I hope you enjoyed it as well. I hope it inspires you to maybe get out and try something new, pick up a new hobby. Again, Mike with Dark Star Arms. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.